In this video, I'm going to go over some of the features of the Zoom H2N recorder, and I'm going to explain why, in my opinion, I think it's the best recorder for paranormal investigating. I own two of these recorders. I've used them for years. I do mainly ITC work. In fact, that's pretty much all I do anymore is audio work. I use these on tripods. I carry them around. I use them in EVP sessions. I just have them static on shelves during an investigation. I've used them outdoors. I've used them indoors. I've used them in the daytime, in the nighttime. If you use them outdoors, I found that you need to buy one of these optional, let me see if I can get this in the video, an optional windscreen that goes over on top of this. I can't get it on there exactly now. It's got to set up in there all the way down, but it minimizes the wind noise when you're doing outdoor investigations, when you're doing anything outdoors and there's a little bit of a breeze. Even if you're doing nighttime investigations in a cemetery or anything, that will cut down on if you're walking and it's recording your steps in the rocks or your steps on the gravel or whatever you may be recording throughout the cemetery. Because as we all know, that's when you're doing a review, that's a huge annoyance, having to listen to people walking through rocks. And this, the microphones on this recorder are extremely sensitive, so they will pick up absolutely anything. It does have 5 internal microphones. It can be set. Let me tilt this so you can kind of see it. It can be set here on top with this dial. You can either have it 4-channel or in stereo 2-channel, or you can have the 3 microphones in front, the 2 microphones in back. You can set it for, or if you have it right here on this setting that I like to keep it on, you can record. For example, if you're doing an EVP session, it'll record the external microphone as well as the internal microphones at the same time, so that your questions will be recorded as well as anything that's caught in your external microphone. That's a huge plus when you're doing an EVP session. There's a couple different ways. If you have a less expensive microphone and it doesn't do that feature, there's a couple different ways to do that. I'll go into that in another video later on. But the Zoom and the Sony recorders, except for the Zoom H1, which is the lowest end of the Zoom recorders, it has been confirmed it doesn't do this setting. All of the other Zoom recorders will do this setting, except for the H1 Zoom recorder does not do this setting. So but as you can see, I like it also because it's a nice small recorder. It doesn't take up a lot of room in your hand. It's not obtrusive. I have a case that I keep all my recorders and all my audio equipment in, and it doesn't take up a lot of space in my case. It does have your SD card slot. It has a a tripod adapter on the bottom. Let's see here. You've got line in, your line out. The line in, of course, would be for external microphones. Your line out would be for headphones, external speaker, anything of that nature, so that you can do live recordings as well. It does run on batteries. It has a 20-hour battery life, or there's an optional adapter you can get for it. It's just a mini USB here that plugs in, and you can use it that way. It's got a one button record on the bottom. All you do is hit record. It's got the power button, adjustable gain, on the recorder, on the microphones, I always leave it at auto gain. That way it automatically detects loud and low noises, sounds. This is your play button. Fast forward, rewind. You can slow the replay back. You can speed up the replay. It does have an internal speaker as well, so you can replay it right through here if you don't have an external. The display I'll turn on, but I don't know if you'll be able to see it with this camera because I'm not using the best camera. Let's see here. Okay, you just it just tells you basically that there is an SD card. Let me turn this light off and see if that helps any. No, it does not. It just tells you the SD card is in. It tells you how much recording time is left. It shows you the bars, the stereo bars left and right. It tells you how much battery time you have left. It tells you how much time you have left on the SD card for recordings. Down below from this video, I will have my website address. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, and as always, you can just, whether it's about this or anything else, you can just email me and ask me a question. I'm on Facebook, you can message me. However you want to get a hold of me, you can always ask me a question. Thanks for watching the video. I appreciate it.